We live. Let me make sure we sound good. Oh, yeah. Do we sound good?
Do we sound nice? Are we sounding okay?
Yep, we do. All right, man. Let's do it. Ready?
Yep.
All right.
Is it the end of the world? Yes, it is the end of the world. And it's also the beginning. The beginning of a brand new, solid, juggalo world for us all to enjoy. We'll never
What's up?
die alone.
Jug. What's up? My name is Kyle, a.k.a. Keezy, if you want. This is my main man.
Carvalho, yo.
This is Deck One Dealt. This is the Juggalo podcast.
Going up against the Super Bowl.
You know, that's how good, that's how much we believe in this podcast.
Yeah.
We'll do it during the goddamn most watched event on earth.
Absolutely.
Do we give a fuck? No.
No. And I don't care. I don't want to know about the commercials because I know that's what everybody talks about.
You know, that blows my mind. Like when I talk to people and they're like, I used to say it, so I'm shitting on myself too. But like, they're like, yeah, I'm just watching it for the commercials. Like, how much of a fucking simp are you if you're just watching? Like, I just want to watch fucking corporations shell out millions of dollars in greed just so I can give it to them.
Absolutely. That's what they are, man. And yeah, I've never been one to care about commercials. Like, I mean, if they're funny.
Yeah,
okay,
I like when they're funny, and like, there's been some classics. Don't get me wrong, but like, and I might watch like a compilation or something, even still. But like, you're not gonna get me to watch the fucking Super Bowl just to watch commercials.
No, fuck no. Or the halftime. I didn't care about the halftime show. Everybody's like, dude, it's Eminem.
I do want to watch the halftime. I ain't go front. Like, I cannot front.
I don't know if I give a shit.
Dude, I really do simp for Eminem. I can't help it. But yes, we are here. I told y'all no show today. We decided fuck it.
Why not?
We'll just do it. Fuck plans.
Yeah, fuck it. Do it later on in the evening.
Yeah, man. But yes, so we appreciate you, Crutch, and Nobody Man joining us during this event that's happening. You know, I had to ask somebody the other day. I was like, Super Bowl this weekend? Is it Sunday? They're like, yeah. I was like, who's playing?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I know I shouldn't feel like this, but I can't help but feel like I'm an asshole for not knowing who's in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't really feel like that.
Like, that's how people make you feel, though. They're like,
yeah.
You don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl.
It's crazy how I mean, people in their mainstream sports, man. It's nuts.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, we're here fucking doing a Juggalo podcast. Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand the philosophy of liking something a lot, you know?
Yeah. But like, it's just sports are so ingrained in people's consciousness that like when you don't know about it or care about it, it's like they don't understand.
Yeah.
It's like you know, it's like being back in the, you know, go back a couple centuries and you tell somebody, you know, the earth was round, you know, or something like like that. Just this day's version of it, you know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like what are you talking about? Yeah. I think it's a little more accepted now because I remember when I was a kid, it was way less accepted. If you didn't like sports, like you were a freak.
Yeah.
But now it's like a little bit more. It's like, okay, this dumbass doesn't care, whatever, you know.
Right. Yeah, it is, I guess it is a little less. Like, it's not cool. It's no longer cool to be like alpha and like wear a no fear shirt and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of that machismo comes with that kind of shit, you know. And that's kind of gone by the wayside, thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully, feminism is becoming more mainstream.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I mean, I think that can go too far as well.
Yeah, of course.
You still need alpha, you still need beta, you still need all that shit in society.
Sure.
You know, but yeah, it did go too far with the alpha stuff, and it's going to spin around and go too far with the feminism shit as well.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, it's going to slap back and forth. That's just how society goes, you know. And hopefully we don't destroy ourselves in the meantime.
Yeah.
is my hope. But yeah, a little bit of machismo, a little bit of feminism, and just balance it out. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
We need a little bit of that. We need strong people. We need strong guys out here in the world.
Yeah.
And we need some guys out here that are compassionate and care about stupid shit.
Of course. Of course. Man, that's where I fall in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I fall in a little bit of both, I feel that way, you know what I mean? I'm a working man. I'm out there in the world working, busting my ass, and I'm a taller, bigger guy, but I'm also,
But you're able to sweat out all that toxic masculinity.
Yeah. But and I was raised by a hard ass stepdad that, wanted me to play sports and shit like that, and you know what I mean, beat the fucking pussy out of me. I guess is what you could say.
You being a tall guy, I'm sure people bothered you all the time about playing basketball and shit.
All the time, I was never like the guy like, oh, I just want to draw.
Yeah.
I just want to read and feminism. I was never that guy, but I was definitely like, I don't fucking care about sports.
Yeah.
Like I want to draw and play music. And,
right.
You know what I mean?
Like fuck off. I want to do my shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's funny. I mean, me being a little short shrimp, nobody ever tried to get me for sports, except for some reason, like when I was in 10th grade, the wrestling coach really bothered me a lot about joining the wrestling team. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking wrestle, dude.
You might have been pretty good at it.
I mean, he thought so, I guess, but
if you would have worked out and got a little bit stockier and you maintained your agility and shit,
maybe.
You probably could have.
Fuck it. I don't care.
We'd rather backyard wrestle.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's literally like that was in the back of my mind. Like, fuck that,
exactly.
dude. I'm already wrestling. What's up, Jugga Crow? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we did do some backyard wrestling. I don't know what you'd even Google to find. There's a couple videos on YouTube. I don't even know what they're under.
I don't remember.
We'll have to like one of these days. I'll have to. There's a few of them that still need to be ripped. We need to like get them all, compile them all.
I got most of the VHSs, and I think we even copied some of the VHSs, and I might have some of the copies of the originals on VHS. And I got a VHS to DVD converter, but I mean, you only really need that nowadays.
Yeah.
We could probably put the use that converter and just hook it up to the PC and then just convert it straight or something.
Definitely. I have a couple of them too. We should do that sometime. So y'all can watch us 16, 17 years old, backyard wrestling.
Yeah, that shit was fun, man.
It's great shit. All right, so today we were. I know I put up a poll about what album we were gonna do, but we had much more pressing things to talk about today. We decided that Carver stumbled upon this video. How did you even find that video?
I don't know. It was just in my feed.
Okay, so it was just posted a few days ago.
Yeah, it's pretty new. So.
It's a cameo of Violent J. So I don't know how new this video even is. Like it could be months old, and they just now uploaded it. We don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
But it's an interesting cameo of Violent J, like for 7 minutes. Which, by the way, if you want to get your money's worth, obviously buy a fucking cameo from ICP because this motherfucker went on for 7 minutes, like with this dude.
Yeah,
like some of them are only like 30 seconds long, but. This dude asked Violent J, I think, like what his favorite songs were, and he had a hard time thinking of like his favorite songs, obviously. But he named like he did rattle off several like off the top of his head.
Yeah. And that surprises me at first, the fact that he would even answer that question.
Yeah, I mean,
because I've known they've talked about that before, and it's like we can't name our favorite songs. We don't fucking know,
Yeah, I mean it's a weird question for an artist, like I'm sure a lot of artists, very few artists would be like, it's this song. This song is by far the best one I've ever written.
Yeah.
It's that one. But they're going to be more humble. Like, I don't know. I like them all. That's why I wrote them, blah, blah. But
I think most artists, like their next thing is their favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's never like the past. Like they always think what they do next or what they're doing now is their best stuff.
Sure.
It's usually what most artists are like.
Well, that's why it's so interesting with his videos, because while Violent J has talked about this subject in the past and in his book, he talks about how some of these songs just came to him.
Yeah, and that's where I was wanting to go. I was wanting to go through these songs he's talking about.
Okay.
But,
do you want to watch a little bit of the video?
Yeah, we can. I mean, we probably got to skim through and.
So we'll show you Juggalos the video we're talking about. All right.
I'm trying to remember some of these songs. I know Angels Falling.
Yeah, I made a note of them,
okay,
of all of them in order.
Okay, cool.
So here's the video in question. It's called Violent J Cameo, Favorite Songs He's Written, Insane Clown Posse. It was just posted a week ago, February 7th, okay?
If that is newer, I mean, it looks like he might be gaining weight again.
Yeah, maybe.
Done a little bit. Look like he's got a little bit of weight now in his shoulders and stuff again. In his
Yeah, it
neck.
does. It does.
His face is a little
But he
filled
looks
out.
But he looks healthy.
Yeah, that looks healthy. Like you've stopped, like you're off of, like you've beaten some addictions and now you're like gaining some weight back. Or
Sure,
something,
sure. That's a promising sign. If this is as new as we hope it is.
Yeah.
And these hoes don't call your bluff.
So he's making fun of the guy's name. His name's
Yeah.
Jason Huffman, and he like gives him some funny like fodder at the beginning.
Yeah.
One thing I think is cool about this video is just like Violent J's like doing this as he just wanders around his house, like goes into his studio, into his
Yeah.
living room. Then he starts showing off like art in it.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Like
I think he might be in a studio the entire time.
okay, yeah, maybe.
Because I know he said his studio is detached from his house.
Okay, yeah, because I did think
Yeah.
like it didn't look like he went outside.
Yeah, it's like an old pool house or like little side house or some like side building.
So
The songs
hold on.
I love, people don't tend to love like that. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard him say this before. I have heard him say, like a lot of the stuff I like, juggalos don't find to be the best stuff.
Yes.
I've heard him mention that somewhere sometime.
Now, the first song he mentions is Angels Falling, which for that to be the first one, that tells you right off the bat, that's like,
Yeah.
that's what instantly pops into his head.
That's one of his, and that is one of the ones that sticks out on Hell's Pit for me as well.
Fucking
I don't know how much I love it as far as like a listening song that I
Sure.
can just pop on and just it's
But the story is fantastic.
yeah, it's definitely an insane concept.
Yeah. And it's interesting because he like it's one thing to listen to the song and interpret it yourself, and like most of ICP's songs are pretty surface level, basic,
Yeah.
easy to understand. But it is always interesting when the artist themselves like tells you more about the concept and their mind state maybe when they made the song, because that gives you more. It fleshes it out a little bit more. As even when you go back to listen to it, you're going to hear what he says about it in your mind. You know. Oh, and then he talks about High Rise.
Talks about High Rise.
So
he
he-
also talked about In My Room,
He
but
meant-
he couldn't remember it. I think.
Yeah, so he talks about Angels Falling first, then he mentions In My Room, which I thought it was interesting that two of his favorite songs were Hell's Pit songs.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm assuming that's why Hell's Pit is so loved. I mean, I'm pretty sure those people who love Hell's Pit probably kind of feel that same way about those songs.
But one thing that's interesting is, so we brought this up, and the whole reason we're talking about Violent J being a channeler, and we won't sit here and bore you with the whole 7-minute video. We'll keep it playing, but he's talking about how the Dark Carnival gave him these songs.
Yeah,
and
specifically,
specifically,
there's a couple instances though I wanted to watch because like you can see it in his face, like he really he truly believes this shit, and he even says he's like, dude, we're
suddenly pulled through the floor.
oh, he's talking about High
yeah,
Rise.
in the concept of the tower. I don't even remember that song that well.
High Rise.
High Rise.
Yeah, we've talked about this specific song on the show before, and we knew Violent J has talked. He talked about it with one of the podcasts they did as being one of like his favorite songs.
I think
or Jump Steady
even
did.
said that. Yeah.
You're right.
Now this is the part.
Neither did Shaggy. Those are
Rewind that slightly.
tokens directly from the Dark
It's hard to see here.
I don't want to sound conceited in saying this.
There you go.
You believe they were our creations, but I'm speaking from the heart in reality of my honest to God true beliefs. We're not that brilliant to come up with shit like that. Like the song Amy's in the Attic. It's a song about a guy
Yeah, so he goes into Amy's and Attic. We all know that.
Here, I'll rewind it back where you said. Hold on.
saying this.
Oh, that's pretty much what I was wanting to,
Okay.
In
wanting to
all
hear.
due honesty, I had nothing to do with them
There
at
you go.
all. Neither
Yeah.
did Shaggy. Those are tokens directly from the Dark Carnival, man.
Like that
I don't
face
wanna sound
right there.
conceited in saying
Yeah.
this,
Like you can see, like he's like. I mean, you can see as he's saying it, like he knows like he's saying some wacky shit.
Yeah.
But he feels it. So you can't just brush it off. Like
Yeah.
you can brush it off your own feelings if you want to say I don't believe that shit, but you can't brush off his feelings right there.
No.
He's feeling that shit.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about is kind of the wackiness aspect of this, and in that, in my mind, it's not wacky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The channeling thing, I believe to a point about the channeling thing. Jay they call it the Dark Carnival, but this.
Other people call it God.
Yeah, this idea of channeling has been around for a long, long time, and that was kind of what I was wanting to get into, man. Art, and a lot of artists say the same thing. They say that, you know, they're getting it from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the muse.
How many artists have you heard say that?
Yeah, that's the muse. You've heard that. It's the same concept, the exact same.
Yeah.
So all artists say that.
All artists say that, and I'm not going to say that I've like felt it like probably to the point that Jay has, but there's definitely been times like, you know, drawing or writing something where I like, how the fuck did I even come up with that?
Yeah,
I've definitely been there before. Like, there's no way I'm not that smart to think like that. So that came from somewhere. Don't remember writing it. Don't remember, like, you know, the steps I took to think about that shit. It just came. And that's a lot of what the artists say too, is it just comes. It just comes, and they're just essentially they're just channeling it.
I mean, I think that's when you write, like you know, my frame of reference is like, you know, when I sit down to write a song, or write any raps or whatever. If I'm like, okay, I'm focusing, like you're literally like you're tuning in, like frequency wise, like you're tuning your brain in to like a creative frequency. And what that means, it's going to be different shit for different people, like whether it's the Dark Carnival or God or whatever. But like, I know for me, like when I tune to that, it's like, it's just like the flow, it's flowing through you, you know, like anything creative I've ever done has been it seems like it's come from that. Like it comes from somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well,
where is it before it's on your paper? Where is it?
Well, that's what I was getting into. If you go through history, you can find the different cultures. We've talked about this and where it comes from. And say for instance, here let's pull up Wikipedia real quick and look up genius. Look up Rome genius mythology.
Okay.
And the Romans called it the genius. And that's probably where, you know, the use of the word came from, really.
Rome genius what?
Just the genius. Rome the genius. It's a their mythology.
There's genius mythology. Okay, genius.
Yeah. So what does that say? An individual instance of a general divine nature that is present in every individual person, place, or thing. Much like a guardian angel, the genius would follow each man from the hour of his birth until the day he died. For women, it was the Juno spirit. That's pretty interesting. But each individual place had a genius, and that's where you get for the Romans, that's where you got all your stuff. That's where you channeled it from.
Wow, that's interesting. I've never heard it referred to as like genius as being like a noun like that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and like a guardian angel is probably the closest thing you could, you know, think of it as.
That's interesting.
Now look up Socrates, the divine inner voice.
By the way, Albrowski Game said this video isn't new. It came out around the first Patreon. Okay. Appreciate that. All right. What did you want me to look up?
Socrates, divine inner voice. I don't know if... Yeah, divine inner voice does not exist.
All right, hold on. All right, so trial of Socrates. Let's see. Second, he believed to be in a daemonion, an inner voice with, as his accuser suggested, divine origin. I don't know if that's relevant.
Yeah, I think that's it. He called it the Damien or something, daemon or something. Yeah, he talked about Socrates. Blah, 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 blah. He talked about it a lot. There's a lot of.
I can just Google it.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, you could just Google it. He said. The divine inner voice was like he got everything from that.
Okay.
He basically said that's what he says. So even Socrates, you know, divine inner voice. Yeah, see, it popped up right there.
God damn it. Yep.
Had to believe that the divine inner voice guided him to be a man of virtue, Justine, blah blah blah. Yeah, so you have throughout history people saying this stuff. Artists, Michelangelo. Had a painting where it depicted this whole idea.
Okay.
And I think it might have been called Angel or Guardian Angel or something. If you want to pull up those pictures I sent.
Got them right here.
So Jay gives that look like this stuff is crazy, but like, and I'd be interested to, here's some visual representation. Yeah, there's the Dream by Michelangelo, and that was his representation of it. And I looked up. You see in the background a bunch of people doing things like society, what they're doing. You see like a fight. You see people basically, you probably see some sex back there. People, all that stuff in the background represents the the surface level society. And then right in the middle, that's supposed to be a youth. That's supposed to be like a young person.
Okay.
Getting divine, getting some sort of channeling thing from like this guardian angel. Keep in mind they've got like a rod directly to his third eye.
Yeah, I see that.
And that sphere is supposed to represent like the soul.
Okay.
So the box of masks, I'm not too sure what that's all about, but
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and then you have Alex Gray, who I mean, most of his work is about this.
Right.
It's about channeling. I mean, like everything, and it's and what they call it nowadays is like the cosmic consciousness. The consciousness that everybody has. There's that's we're all tapped into, and what it really is we're tapping into, an ocean of consciousness, and we can pull from it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's the more, I guess you could say, spiritual, scientific way to explain it nowadays.
Sure. Okay.
Almost like The Dream. Remember the movie The Dream?
No.
Or The Secret. Sorry, not the.
Oh yeah,
Dream.
The Secret. Yeah. Yeah.
The Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. And Jay's even into that shit. I know he's talked about The Secret before.
Yeah.
If you want to go into a little more scientific on how to explain The Secret, and it's not just like have faith and it comes to you. Watch What the Bleep Down the Rabbit Hole, and it goes into quantum mechanics and things like that, and you get a little better idea of scientifically of how this stuff can really work.
Sure.
But spiritually and stuff like that, you got people like Alex Gray who can kind of explain it in a spiritual, scientific way.
And they can also like represent it visually.
Yeah, they can represent it like some of the, the best visual aid you could have to kind of see how this stuff is working, You can kind of see he's got that paintbrush. He's got like the galaxy in his chest, and he's got like a consciousness in his hand, and he's pulling from the cosmos to like really get what he's got. And you know what I mean? These people go into, sometimes artists go into these kind of states where they're not really conscious on a conscious level while they're doing their shit. They're kind of like in a trance state. There's people that do shit like that.
Sure, yeah.
Because there's different levels. If you look into channeling, there's different levels. The one they've taught us in society, which everybody thinks it's kooky, is the people, laid down on the couch and they're like astral projecting, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, come on, like, really?
Yeah, sure.
It's that kooky shit. That's like the one that they've put out into society to make it look kooky. But there's the more subtle ones where like you're still conscious, but you can kind of pull from that universal information,
Right.
So, and honestly, that's what Jay's talking about. I truly believe is what he's talking about.
Yeah, because those ideas, like he says in the video, like he's like, I don't watch that kind of shit. He's like, I'm an avid reader, but I don't read fiction. Like, where do I get these ideas?
Yeah.
And I guess you could break it down to like more of like a dummy level. Like for me, like where while I don't necessarily to subscribe to a lot of spiritual shit, I do believe that there's got to be some kind of force that is giving these ideas, because if you don't have them yourself, if you've never had them, where are you getting them? Is it just, you could argue that it's just like an amalgamation of every idea and piece of media and thought that you have had subconsciously or consciously. Maybe like that's maybe you're pulling from that.
Yeah, you're pulling from your own information ocean that you've gathered your entire life. And
but that said, like, I mean, where do like where have the greatest ideas of all time? Like, where have they came from? Like,
exactly.
legitimately, like
where did they come from when cavemen didn't have all this information?
Yeah.
Where did they figure out how to make the wheel or the fire or things like that? I mean, I guess that kind of stuff's a little easier. It's like all you gotta do is chip off the corner, or they saw something roll and they go,
right.
Bing.
Well, you could even be like, where did fucking Shakespeare get the idea for his works and shit? It's all the same.
Or Einstein,
right?
Theory of relativity and things like that.
So people can be smart, but what does that really mean? what does being smart mean? You just know more, or you've heard more, or
I think even
do you feel more?
Yeah, I
Like,
think even Einstein said that, his stuff came from somewhere else. I mean, all these people throughout history have said this, man.
yeah.
There's got to be something to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for anybody who's like, especially for like the hyper creative, like, there's something that's like,
Yeah.
that there's something that is either in you or that wants out or out of you that is coming in,
and it's really, I like this because this is a pretty simple, it's like a chain reaction. You see the cosmic consciousness in the galaxy, that's the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And the eye is always representation. In Alex Gray's work, the eye is the representation of consciousness.
Okay.
So that's all you got. That's all you have to know. So there's a cosmic consciousness reaching her third eye, which is your plug-in to the cosmic consciousness.
And it seems like it's through like electrical waves.
Yeah. And he also depicts it through DNA as well.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of it can be DNA. Like maybe we have this in our DNA from the past. Then you could connect to the cosmic consciousness and the DNA at once. And yeah, so it's going right through her, down to the heart and then the vocals, which is what you're, and that's the chakra system. If you go into the chakras,
So she has 3 consciousnesses in her.
it's just showing 3 of her or 3 of her chakras.
Okay.
He's representing chakras. You got your heart chakra, you got your throat chakra, you got your third eye chakra.
Okay, I
It
see.
even goes lower. You have the chakra in your crotch, which is like your lower level chakra, which is
Okay.
just pleasure centered. You got your gut chakra, heart chakra, throat, shit like that. So this is all the hippy dippy shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You've seen the symbol of the guy meditating with all the different like lotus flowers going up in the middle and shit like that.
Yes.
That's all, Hinduism, Buddhism, chakras, all Eastern philosophy and shit like that, right?
Right.
And that's what he's pulling from here to kind of represent all that. But yeah, that's a really good representation, you know what I mean? That could be what Jay is trying to explain.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, he's just describing, like, the Dark Carnival is his muse. Like, the word for it's already there, but
Yeah.
we all just decide to call it whatever the fuck we want. Like, I don't know what I would call mine.
Yeah.
You know?
And this one's really good, man, because you can see all kinds of shit. There's people from the past. He's actually got people from the past.
Oh yeah, like I see Van Gogh up there and
Yeah.
Einstein.
There's people from the past, and then you have what's right behind him, which is like, you could almost say like a god consciousness or something like that.
There's even like evil creatures in the bottom.
Yeah, so he's being, and that's another thing. Look at ICP. Jay's probably, this would represent even more because he's getting shit from the evil side. He's getting shit from like a loving, caring side. He's getting shit from people that, things that he's known from the past, and you're getting all this channeled through you. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, that picture's great. Like that,
Yeah.
especially as an artist. Like it's a good representation of what outside influences there are.
Yeah.
If nothing else, on a surface level.
And it's cool because these are all painted. This is not like CG.
Yeah.
These are all giant paintings.
Yeah,
Like his paintings are huge.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex Gray's crazy. Yeah, this is another one. It looks like he's getting influenced by the little demon bat and stuff like that.
I mean, especially as he's painting, he's obviously feeling this. Like, and like that's his representation of it. And Jay's writing is his representation of it.
Mhm.
It's the same shit.
the flamed winged deity
Mm-hmm.
actually comes from a so RM, there's this guy named RM Buck. He was a philosopher back in the day. And if you want to pull him up on Wikipedia, he has this saying.
R.M. Buck.
Yeah, RM Buck. He's got this. He wrote a book called The Cosmic Consciousness, and this is where a lot of this shit came from. Was him. Yeah, he wrote a book called The Cosmic Consciousness, and in that book, he talks about a flamed being overtaking him.
Okay.
But then he realizes that it's coming from within himself. And pulling, but he's pulled it from the cosmic consciousness.
Oh, you can get the whole book here. Just
Yeah.
Google it.
Yeah, so he was a philosopher as well too. So you got, I mean, there's people.
Wait, this is selfdefinition.org/Christian. Get out of here with this shit.
What does it say?
That's just where it's stored or whatever.
Well, yeah, they the Roman Christians pulled from the genius mythology from the Romans and shit, and kind of influenced that in Christianity as well. So I mean, even Christianity has some of this cosmic consciousness influence in it.
Yeah, I think it's all.
Yeah,
It's all, like I said, it's all talking about this. God is their version of this.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same shit. It's all the same shit.
yeah, it's all one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, yeah, and every, you know, all
We can. The point is, all humanity can tap into it.
Yeah,
If you know how.
yeah, that is the point.
So how do you? That's the tricky part.
Practice. There's practices, you know, and that's probably all the practices we hear all
Like
the
how
time.
many? Like
Meditate.
what practices? What practices do you think Jay could have been doing?
I think-
back in his day.
Well, Jay was very religious, and I think there are churches that still do practices where you can tap into that shit. And if he went to like a church where the people there were actually spiritual and it wasn't just a fucking, you know, give me the collection plate money type church, because there's still small churches out there that really are, they're caring, loving, spiritual people.
Sure.
And I'm wondering if that's the kind of church Jay grew up in. I mean, if you looked at his mom, like that's the kind of person she seemed to be.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And I'm wondering if he just learned how to do it at a young age from being around people like that.
And also just probably escaping too, like
Yeah.
from his, you know, maybe shitty parts of his life.
Yeah, escapism as well. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one too.
I've never seen that picture. That's an interesting one. I don't get what the music note's supposed to represent.
I think that's just music. You know, he's
Music is
unlocking
breaking
music. Like you're channeling and unlocking music, and you know,
like
breaking.
music is able to break those shackles. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What else you got? On here?
I mean, they've said, you know, that's another one right there. The whole angel thing, the flaming.
yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the divine consciousness.
Yeah, what is this like symbol he used?
That is a Hindu symbol. I forget what it means,
Okay.
but I think it's essentially like the infinity symbol,
Okay,
like a Hindu style infinity symbol.
intriguing.
Yeah, a lot of his work is Hindu influenced, Hinduism. So.
But yeah, man, it's interesting shit. I mean, obviously Jay, you know, he's really feeling it.
Yeah, and I just wanted, like I said, this was off a tangent, but it was related. After I saw that video, I was like, this stuff is, you know, this is what Jay's talking about, and you know, I've gone into a lot of this shit for years. So when he says that kind of stuff, this is what I think about, you know.
Yeah.
So I figured it was a good topic to kind of get on.
Well, it's also interesting because in the video, the cameo, he talks about at the end, toward the end of it, he does say that he's like, but you know, Cotton Candy's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
He's like, and obviously like that, like me and Shaggy wrote that.
Yeah, and that didn't come from anywhere.
Yeah,
that came
the
from
Carnival
us.
didn't
Yeah.
write that. He said that came from us, and like
Yeah.
we were mad proud of it, and we knew when we
Yeah.
wrote it, it was a banger.
That was
Yada
just a
yada.
slap. But that's the song that Juggalos want to hear is the best, you know,
Right.
or Juggalos our age, you know.
But no, I
that's
mean-
the kind of song we want to hear is, you know.
Sure, but no, I mean, I find it way more fascinating when he tells us. Like, I'd rather him say like a random song that like I would have never thought.
Yeah.
Like I know he probably, like, a lot of Juggalos tend to love Amy's in the Attic too, so I'm not really surprised by that one. I am surprised by Angels Falling. Like that was
Yeah.
weird for him to throw in there. What were the other ones he mentioned? High Rise, which we've heard that before too, but even In My Room, I'm surprised like
Yeah.
that even like resonates with him that much, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, like he had a hard time even remembering what album that was on. So like
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't even remember. Like especially when you're put on the spot, like trying to think back of 30 years of your hundreds of songs that you've written. Like
But he obviously like pulled these out like
these were the ones that jumped
Yeah,
out.
within like a few minutes, like 15, 20 minutes. This
Yeah.
is what jumped out at him, and he obviously In My Room has jumped out at him before. He probably just couldn't put it together in that moment, but
Yeah. And you know, I love those songs for the same reasons too. I've always been a mark for these like hyper emotional, like deeper, like on a conscious level songs. Like Prom Queen is like one of my favorite ICB songs ever.
Prom Queen's
And
great.
so is Under the Moon, and I think they both fall in those same realms. Like You know, I wonder if those he would consider like come from the Dark Carnival. You know.
He might. I mean, those are like I said, the ones that jumped out is what he said. You know, so I'm sure if he thought about it, he'd probably have to go back and listen through the catalog. You know, really go and do like a listen of everything he's done throughout the years.
I wonder how often they do that. They should do what we do.
I don't think they do it a lot. They should do what we do.
Dude, what if IZV did their own Deck One Dealt, where they just fucking went through reviewing every album?
Oh
Dude,
man,
I would eat that shit up.
I would eat it up, but it'd probably be a shit show. They would get it. They would go off on the tangent.
That's what we do, though.
They'd probably get bored and want to talk about their shit. And
I would love it. I mean, it's I'm happy enough that we get those whatever they call them deep dives. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fascinating hearing them talk about that process. Like that's what's always one thing we've always come back to in any of these conversations is like we're so fascinated with their process.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the idea. You know, we wanted to review the idea of this show. Was kind of that to deep dive and review their music in a way that's like we look at it from those kind of angles.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of what I've always felt.
Yeah,
so this kind of video, as small as it is, and not many people have probably really seen it or care about it, but it's like gold to me.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, I watch a 3-hour compilation of Jay doing that. I would love it.
Yeah, man.
Honestly,
it's great, man. I mean, did you want to go through the songs that he mentioned?
Sure. So. The songs were. Wait, do you want to just mention each one and talk about our feelings on them?
Yeah, we can.
Right,
we can play them and we can pull them up and play them. And
yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Because I haven't honestly. There's a few of them I haven't heard in a while.
All right.
I don't.
So since we're not doing an album today, that's what we're gonna.
Yeah, I don't remember
talk about.
I don't remember High Rise at all, man.
Yeah, I mean High Rise. Here, let's start with that one. Fuck it.
The Tower. I remember that. I always get it confused with the Tower, but the Tower's on.
The Tempest.
Yeah.
That's the one where he's shooting people just from the thing. But High Rise, yeah. High Rise.
Yeah, because the concept, like I don't remember that song hardly. And
it's on Eye of the Storm. So I'm sure when we reviewed Eye of the Storm, we kind of glossed over it because this isn't a song that has stuck out like as being even good. To be honest, it's okay from what I recall, but.
He's probably just talking about his lyrics. He probably goes back and listens to these songs, and he's just amazed by how he came up with those lyrics.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And I do. I've done that. I go back and listen to some of our shit. I'm like, God damn, what the fuck was I on?
I'll tell you the one verse that I go back and don't know how the fuck I was able to write it was Made of These.
Yeah?
The song where we took the Marilyn Manson sample.
Fucking crushed it on that song.
I don't know. And I think that's the same fucking thing Jay's talking about. I could never write anything like that nowadays, dude.
Yeah? Really?
Like, I couldn't even try. I could try, but I don't fucking know if I could.
What about Blackheart? Was that the muse?
Blackheart, it was, but I fucked it up and couldn't get it out.
I know. That was
Get it out.
That song was the bane of your existence.
Yeah.
Blackheart was a song. Carver and our buddy Chris were in a group called Co-Fusion. They worked on for a long time and rewrote and everything. You bought the beat.
Yeah.
Never could make it work.
Couldn't get it, man, because it came in like a thunderstorm kind of thing, you know, like I channeled it, and then from there on out, the rest of the time was me just trying to remember it and get it out, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's such a shame.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So here's High Rise.
I mean, I could see why Jay looks back at this and be like, man, it's a lot of shit.
It's good. It is good. A good song, I guess.
I never paid much attention to it, man.
I think this is the shit I didn't like about this. Like, I don't like this like slow singing shit. Like the beat's dope. I like Shaggy's verse or his little hooks or whatever he's doing on here.
I think I'll check this song out a little bit more, put it on a little bit more, because I think I can. Nowadays, I think I can kind of get into it.
Okay. I want to hear him go back to the verses though. Like what?
And all the verses are like this singing shit, right?
No, I thought like he sings at some point, or he actually raps at some point, right? Or is it just Shaggy? So many switch ups. I think I never really I've never listened to the song and been able to concentrate on the story.
Yeah, that's the problem with it, because it's the
It's
way
scattered.
Yeah, the way it's presented is really, I don't know the word to use, but it's just not in a tight package.
Yeah.
You know. It sounds cool. I mean, most of it to me I think sounds pretty cool. But yeah, it was just one of those that was really hard to pay attention to.
Oh man. I even right now I'm having a hard time like even listening to it.
Yeah, I could see it.
Sorry, Jugs. I'm having a hard time appreciating the song.
Me trying to put myself in Jay's thought process about it, I think I'm getting into it more than I would normally.
All right.
This part's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is my favorite part, Shaggy's part. All right. So the other one, do you want to keep listening? Or?
Yeah, let's do Angels Is Falling, man. I haven't heard that one and really cared about it in a while. But I remember when Hellspit first came out. I remember when it got to this, I was really like, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so too. I think the beat's just a little too almost friendly for the kind of dark.
Yeah,
of the song.
I think that's why it works so well. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why. It's kind of like what do you want to call it? Like a bittersweet, but it's got that almost like the same feeling I get from the song is when you hear the wicked nursery rhyme shit. Or like in a movie where they're playing it's a horror movie, but you hear you hear like a music box playing.
I see.
It's that same idea.
I see it.
It's darker, but it's like you hear this happy kind of shit, but you know it's not supposed to be. It doesn't seem right.
I can see that. I mean, there is the weird noise in the back. Like there's creepy shit in here.
Yeah.
Mike P fucking crushed it. If this is Mike P.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, this one might be like Isham or some shit actually. It's like the only thing you hear is pew. Like that.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's got a twist. Like you don't know what the fuck's going on when you first hear this song. You're like,
Why the fuck's he throwing everything in the sky?
So that was cool. I mean, it was one of the first times I think they ever did anything like this.
Yeah.
Like what other song had a twist like this?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Under the Moon kind of had a twist, but nothing like crazy.
I don't know. I wonder who the girl is on that. Is that Sugar Slam?
I think it was Sugar Slam. But yeah, I mean, I always thought this was a cool song. That guitar coming in right there, that's really sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just doing like little licks, like little, like stadium sounding, like 80s stadium guitar sound.
That's sweet, bro.
Yeah.
It's so weird to throw that in there, but I love it. All right.
Yeah, no, this is a cool one, man. I can see why Jay thinks the way he does about this song.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Then he mentioned "In My Room," which is in the zeitgeist due to the fact that it's a still popular song on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like I was literally listening to my kids listening to whatever meme songs are out on TikTok or whatever. I put one of those playlists on Spotify the other day, and this just came on it.
Yeah.
And they all know it and shit. Well, they know the hook and shit.
This song, I don't think it's as good as Angels Are Falling. I think the lyrics are awesome.
Yeah, this is as good lyrically as anything they've written.
Yeah, it's a good, more classically styled, rapped ICP song. But I can see why Jay thinks, because these lyrics, he's got some really sweet lyrics in this.
I really love the Like his voice in this song too. It's just very like cool, but he like rides the beat like better than he's like ever done.
I think the only thing I could say the beat.
Okay.
I don't hate the beat.
It's very simple.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I guess you needed a stripped down beat so Jay could sound this way.
Sure. It's got interesting. Like, what's that noise? It's a weird sound effect.
It sounds like an electric guitar, just very distorted. Yeah, very distorted. They probably found us.
Like, it's
probably,
strange that they put that in there. Like, yeah leave it.
They were probably fucking with it, and they they just sampled a clip
Yeah,
of it.
it sounds dope. I think.
Yeah.
In my room. Tap tap. Yeah, this beat or this whole song is like well made.
Yeah.
We could say that. I wouldn't put it in like even classic ICP song status, but I really do enjoy it. Like I'll never skip this song. Uh-oh, something's wrong. Baby's upset. What secret? So Jay does seem to like the songs where like there's like lost love and shit.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's like, I mean, Amy's in the Attic's kind of like that too.
Yeah, lost love and death.
Yeah.
Like where like a lot of it's like where he's behind it. He's the reason for the death.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting when he was talking about those songs too. He's like, yeah, and then he takes the girl. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, I was going to mention that too. That's kind of confirmation where like most of these are not Jay. Like,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be other characters.
which also, makes sense that it is coming from somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
they're just telling him a story,
So a lot of these story songs are, from the perspective of a different character, and then a song like, Cotton Candy is the clown Violent J,
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
something like that.
Yeah. This song just immediately is like,
Oh,
you just feel it so much more than every song we've played already.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's that bass, it's that drum kick, it's that kick drum with the bass, the fucking like that horror sample in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
That type of shit. There's just a lot of aspects to it.
Man, it's Mikey Clark, man.
Yeah, man. It's a simple mixture, but it's all done right.
Yeah.
Jay's voice, the energy, all the samples, they're just all done right. It's like a good meal, it's a simple meal, but it's done right.
Yeah.
Yeah, great one, man.
I mean, all those other songs we mentioned these are all like in the same category, Oh, it's got the scratching. So good. Like this song of the other songs, even though I like those other songs, this song's like the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if this was like a four-course meal,
Yeah.
this would be the meat.
You're like,
Yeah, this is going to be this is going to be the well-done steak. Or however you like your steak.
Yeah.
This is going to be
The perfect steak.
That perfect steak.
Yeah, man.
So,
I wonder that I'm seeing this on here right now. Look, Amy's Ghost. Do you think that was about Amy from Amy in the Attic?
it might have been.
Jump Steady's song from Master of the Flying
It
Guillotine?
could have been.
It's interesting.
I think that's information I knew and forgot.
Yeah, I mean, Master of the Flying Guillotine, you couldn't have, if you had held a gun to my head and
Yeah,
said I'll
no
kill you
way.
unless you name
Yeah.
a song, I couldn't have done it.
Yeah. I've definitely listened to it, but
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I do remember that, Amy's Ghost. I do remember seeing that and thinking that in the past.
Interesting.
It's been years.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, that I've been seeing Amy's in the Attic is also on ICP's The Old Shit. I wonder who threw that compilation together. Like, where did that come from?
I've never listened to that compilation.
Yeah, me neither. Let me go to it. See what else is on it.
It's the black and white album cover, right?
Yeah.
With the pink. Yeah.
It's cool. Like I would buy this. Like there's a lot of there's 30 fucking songs on it. What the fuck?
Is it a double? It's got to be a double disc.
Yeah, it has to be.
What's the actual?
Well, it
part?
says 30 songs, an hour, 17 minutes. Oh, look, the songs are short.
Oh, they do it like a fucking concert.
I mean, that's kind of cool if you just want to hear some shit.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty. I guess that's kind of cool. Black in your eyes.
why is Black in Your Eyes on there?
Wow.
What are they doing? I mean, I'm on board with a lot of the shit on here.
Yeah.
Oh, Kiss the Clown is its own song. That's interesting.
That's really cool.
Sorry, I know we went off on a tangent here, but and why is $85 out with the final song? Like, that's so random. My Kind of Bitch is on. There's some good shit on there, man. I like it. All right.
I might have to get that one day, man. That's the kind. Because I'll still throw in the Mutilation mix and just throw that on.
Sure.
Just because it's all good songs,
Yeah.
and I don't got to worry about putting on, throw that on and let it go.
Yeah, I mean, at the time that was they literally calling that their greatest hits.
Yeah.
Greatest hits that never were hits.
Yep. And all the answering machine
Yeah.
yeah,
There's some good shit,
recordings
man.
were cool.
Yeah.
Eddie Shawm on there. They had Cottonmouth Kings.
Was Cottonmouth on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, this is Daddy X. This is the thumbs up for the Cottonmouth Kings.
I don't
They're
remember
talking
that.
about like smoking. We're just smoking that. What they wanted the Southwest song. That's what they wanted. Remember, because all the
Oh,
the
yeah.
answering machine, they requested shit.
That's right. You're right.
And I believe it was the Cottonmouth Kings. You gotta play that Southwest song.
Yeah.
Isham wanted Psychopathic. That's Psychopathic. He's talking about
Oh yeah.
off of Carnival.
I was just seeing Ninja with a Pencil said, ever notice this sample in the mix down on The Party? I'm guessing the song The Party from The Tempest. Yeah, he says off The Tempest. They must play this.
I don't remember that.
Like there's a couple parts where they're like having the scratch battle. That's interesting. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. I've listened to that song for sure, and I think it's cool, but I don't remember that. That's a good observation.
That's just dope. All right, and then Jay's other favorite song. This we'll call this the dessert.
Yeah, he says.
One pussy like I'm coming up. What's your name?
Yeah, I just like feel like this is a audio representation of Cotton Candy. Like I feel like I see the colors of Cotton Candy.
Sure.
You see like a circus. You see like a sexual circus and shit going on. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean it's masterfully done.
Yeah, it just paints such a colorful picture with this song, man. And it's you know why it's so good too, and why it fits so well, because it's all 70s funk samples.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
The classic thing that everybody makes fun of porn with. That's what these samples are.
That is funny.
It's 70s funk.
It's funny to think about that.
Yeah.
Trying to stuff them in there too. Oh, what's up, Jugga Crow? We'll get you on for an origin story. We had one. I had one lined up today, but with our late start, we weren't able to make it work. But we will be back to doing those on the next episode for sure. We'll put you on the list, bro. If anybody else wants to do an origin story, email me at originstory@deck1delt.com. We'll get you on, or hit us up on the socials. I love this song. I mean,
Yeah.
I see why Jay this comes to him as one of his favorite songs. This song is like you said, like we said, it's masterfully done.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely one of their all-time slappers, man.
yeah, it's undeniable. Anybody could
Should
listen
have
to this
been on a
song
Joker's card.
Yeah, should have. Anybody can listen to this song and like it. I think even
Yeah.
non-juggalos would think this song was at least funny.
Oh yeah, and I've seen reactions. Have you ever looked at reactions? to
No, that
ICP on
exists.
YouTube? Yeah,
No, I've never looked.
there's
looked.
completely non-juggalos on YouTube right now reacting to ICP music.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So weird.
Oh yeah, man. There was this one kid. He was like a young kid, and I'm not sure he wasn't white. You know what I mean? But he talked English, but you could definitely tell he had some other, his parents were something else.
Sure, I got you.
Yeah, and he was, I looked at a lot of his channel, and most of it's like rap, newer rap, shit like that, normal shit. And then like there's a few ICPs in there where people are requesting him to ICP. I think this was one of the songs.
Really?
And he literally shut the door because he didn't want his dad to hear. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I'd have done the same shit.
Yeah, there's that shit out there. Look it up. It's very interesting to see people reacting to ICP that aren't juggalos. Because they don't hate it, man.
No,
they
that's
don't
pretty
hate
cool.
it. Especially at kids. They don't hate the shit.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, like, I know, like, I play ICP quite often in the car, like, with my kids. I have for a long time, and it's definitely ramped up over the past, like, year for sure. Just for doing this show and just being more jugged out. Like, but they don't really fucking care for it. Like, I'll be honest. Like, they have no desire to, like, hear it. They don't.
It's probably one of those things like you grew up, your parents listening to country. Like, you're not going to like it.
But my one daughter, she will tell me, though. She's like, your music is definitely better than mommy's, though. Because all my wife listens to is country music and shit. They really can't stand that.
That's funny as hell.
It's funny that, like, they think my music's tolerable. I mean, I did make him listen to, like, the whole, like, I mean, I shuffle it up. I made him listen to, like, King ISO the other day and shit.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, man. So I don't know. I think kids these days don't. I think ICP is, like, I think at one point it was, like, controversial and, like, crazy, and because of that it was cool, like, to like ICP, but, like, it's gone beyond that now where, like, they're not controversial anymore.
No.
You know,
fucking modern day pop music is way more.
Yeah. So, like,
and it's accepted, so it's like it's controversial, like it should be controversial, but it's
Yes.
accepted, so it's not.
right. So, like, and that's why I personally don't have a problem listening to it with my young kids in the car. But, I personally would turn this off if it came on in the car, just for its sexual nature. But
I mean, there's so many metaphors. Would they even get it though?
probably not. The younger ones definitely not. But
Yeah.
my oldest one probably would.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, but yeah, like, I mean, there's some songs like that I could tell they kind of dig a little bit more.
Yeah. There's got to be some they got to, like, oh, this is there's just some music you cannot, move to,
Yeah. All right, man. That's Valentine's favorite songs.
Yeah, man. That was kind of all I had, man. I just wanted to go a little bit into that,
No, that was fun, man. We killed an hour.
Go into a little bit of that paranormal,
It's a good topic of conversation. Oh, good topic of conversation, especially when you are talking about ICP, and we know that they say it, but how much do they truly believe it? And it's when you get confirmation that they believe it more and more, like it does at the very least make you wonder, like, what the fuck is going on? So, like, what is it?
Like I said, man, I think we can chalk it up to Jay grew up with a religious background, but then he kind of dropped it. You get older and you go, okay, is this shit really real? Whatever. But you're still ingrained with that feeling of God. And you're still ingrained with that feeling of something, a higher power. So he kept that with him, turned it into the carnival, and he was just getting, he's getting these ideas from that faith and that spirit and that soul he feels in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's probably where it's coming from, And a lot of people who do believe in a higher power, are great artists,
Yeah.
So it's...
the carnival is God. May all juggalos find him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it.
And he's not sorry if he tricked you.
Yeah, yeah, man. I was, back then when that happened, I was like, what the fuck? But I can't hate it anymore, man. I can't hate it.
It's definitely inside. There's something inside,
Yeah.
and that's the point. It's like we should all find whatever that is for you. You should find that shit and fucking get it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Before we'll wrap it up here in a minute, but I did want to. I had two things I wanted to touch on. I don't have the one queued up. I'll have to look it up real quick. But did you see that someone sent into the Shaggy and the Creep, like, hey, what do you think about monoxide?
I did see that.
Did you see that clip?
I saw the clip. I did. I
was gonna pull up Beneath Dirt.
Yeah, you can pull it up and we can go over that real quick. I think. So what happened? Somebody he got two questions, didn't he?
Yeah, they were back to back. It was
Yeah.
funny. I'm trying to find. Oh, here it is.
I mean, but he
Some never got to his shit. Says, "Yo, Shags, have you ever seen anything sadder than Monoxide publicly apologizing for not playing the march 5 years after it happened?"
yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, he's doing the violin.
Yeah. And they're all like, no one says a word about it. Basically,
It's interesting though.
no one says a word.
I mean,
about
I guess
it.
what do you expect him to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I would do. Wouldn't you? What else would you do?
Especially in a
Corey
public
Vincent.
forum. Hold
I
on.
think Keegan is a better cowboy from the Ozark vlog. Sorry, Shags. But also, what are y'all's thoughts on the monoxide apology to the Juggalos?
Yeah, that's funny.
That's probably exactly how he feels about it, though.
Obviously.
I think Shaggy's the type of dude you have to come to him and bring it to him personally, and
Yeah.
until that, he doesn't give a fuck.
That's what he say. He's like, well, you want me? He's like, well, might as well just be
Exactly.
saying, what do you want me to do with
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Should I care, honestly, about this?
exactly. Shaggy loves to talk about how old school he is, and
Yeah.
you can tell he really is. He's an old school kind of dude, and like you bring it to his fucking face. Until then, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I feel it.
And I'm sure if they came to him, if Monoxide came to him, said, "Hey, Shaggy, I'm sorry about it," Shaggy would be cool with it.
Sure.
I'm
I
sure
can see
he
that.
would be cool with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Shaggy's going to hold a grudge.
Yeah, he's not going to start popping his mouth off on his podcast about it.
Yeah,
you know,
why?
What's the
That's
point?
bullshit. Why do that? But I think it was. That's exactly what they should have done.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I did want to wrap it up with me sharing one other kind of funny clip I found of Twisted that I don't know if you've seen.
I don't know about this.
This is them promoting some like chips or some shit. What? Have you seen this? All right, so like,
I haven't seen this.
Who wants to watch us eat some snacks from Universal Yums? So they did like this ad for this fucking subscription box. All right, watch this shit.
Everybody.
No, I don't know what we're doing right now. This is exciting to me. Just set it up.
All right, look. What I did is I subscribed us to a subscription box.
Jamie's a
for
little
greatness.
too much
It's
sometimes,
called
man.
Universal Yums. And what that is, it's snacks and candy and chips from all over the world. Not just where we live in good old Michigan.
USA.
Anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna.
I mean, they're
try
funny.
it.
I mean,
We're gonna
they've
let
always
you
been
know
funny.
How good these snacks are, because I tell you what, I peeked into one box and there's some extremely interesting things in there. Some I can't pronounce, some I can. But we're gonna take this journey together. And if we throw up, we throw up. But we're gonna let you know. Scale of 1 to 10, we'll let them know.
Let's get it on.
What up,
All right, so-
everybody?
No, I don't know what.
All right, so here's
What? Did they actually go into it? Was it a whole long thing?
they must have. I mean, this was just 5 days ago, so I don't know if they have. But what was interesting to me is like, I'm if it's just them ordering a box and trying it out on the show and doing a bit, like I think that's fine and funny. What I don't like is the possibility of them doing this as like a sponsorship thing,
They're like shilling out.
and like
somewhere,
it just
yeah.
feels gross. You know, and like,
Yeah, it
don't get
feels
me
a little
wrong, like
weird.
Universal Yums, it's not like there's some corporation or anything, but it's just like, are you really, you're stooping to that now? Like, is that what's going on? Or are you just doing it for fun? You know, if that's the case, I mean, to each their own. If Universal Yums approached me and wanted to do it, I would fucking.
Jamie looks like he's pulling at strings on trying to come up with material. Like it looks like Monoxide was literally like, "Hey, we got to do this thing," and Jamie's like, "Oh, what the candy thing? Oh, okay." I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I mean, that's kind of what done it.
Yeah. Like,
Doesn't it seem like-
like Monoxide just throwing him into it? He's like, oh, I'm excited to eat snacks.
Yeah, that it looks like Jamie's like putting on the comedian hat and
Yeah.
like doing something you know what I mean, trying to do a job.
That's what makes me think it's like a paid sponsorship. or
Yeah,
some
that's what
shit.
it looks like.
Like, which, whatever, you know, more power to him. But what do you say other than?
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same thing if I would say the same thing if ICP did it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe they have they done anything like this recently?
I've
I don't
never
know.
seen ICP do any kind of like what appears to be like a shilling at all.
Shilling for another company type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, I don't. If they did it, I'll do the same thing. I'd be like, but I can't hate it too much. I mean, so many YouTubers I watch do this shit.
I know.
You know,
The main reason, my main question is if it is for fun or for shilling, because I feel bad. I almost feel sorry for hating on them. Like if it's shilling, like, oh man, this is what you guys got to do now, or should I feel good for them? Like, oh, you guys are getting sponsors and shit. That's cool. Like you can go either way with it.
I mean, they're doing it for some sort of benefit. I don't think they're just doing it for fun, man. Who
Yeah.
does? Who at their age are they doing anything for fun? Like, let's be serious. Are they doing anything they do for fun that's like has to do with Twisted?
Probably not. Probably not.
They're doing this because it's their job and they're trying to survive and keep their heads above water, man.
Yeah.
In this world of not selling albums anymore and, you know, being a musician and shit. You know, they're all doing this.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, man. Well, that's the only other thing I had for you. I just want to show that.
Yeah. Well, that being said, to add on to that, musicians still love what they do. I'm sure they still love to do their craft. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying like, you know, Twisted hates what they do and they're just doing it to make music and sell it. I'm sure they love what they do to a point. But like anything outside just the craft that they're doing, I'm sure they don't give that much of a fuck about.
Sure.
Writing, recording, and performing and releasing their music is probably the only thing they get a true thrill from doing their shit.
I mean, when you're a public figure like they are, like you have to do the shit too. You can't just sit in the lab and make music like Eminem.
Yeah.
You have to do shit. So that said, I don't blame him for doing social media shit and do whatever. More power to you. It's just I just found it funny and thought it was fun to clown on.
It is funny. I mean, we could definitely clown on him. I mean, I could come up with some shit, but I don't think I'm going to because I don't know. I've seen a lot of people I like do the same thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's just you kind of got to nowadays if you want to, you know, do anything. You kind of got to like lift somebody else up. They'll lift you up, and like you try to do that. I don't know. Maybe they'll do some sort of cross branding with these people after a while. You know, who knows?
Put some Twisted Snacks in there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, ICP's had their cola.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll
probably have their own Twisted Snack box here for long, man.
Has it? I thought Twisted did come out with their energy drink or a cola or something. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows?
All right. Oh, last thing I'll mention. I did get these cool new Deck One Delt stickers. Got them here. Didn't get a bunch of them. I got a few though. If anybody wants one, I got these and some other with the old logo. I'll give out to you. Send me a screenshot of your Apple Podcast review. I don't care if it's good or bad, whatever. If you send it to me with a screenshot that you did it, I'll be happy and we'll send you one. All right. Send that to iTunes review at deck1delt.com. I'm also going to be giving away this Ringmaster.
This is sweet.
It's gonna be this exact one. I just printed it a day or two ago.
3D printed Ringmaster, and it came out fucking great.
Has a Deck One Delt logo on the back. You can do whatever you want with it. Hanging on your wall, stick it to the side of your fridge, or fucking I don't know.
It's fucking cool.
Whatever
You can do a lot of shit with that. And when we get these perfected,
I have a cool little stand for it.
we got to get it perfected, but we're going to eventually try to get stands on these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually get the title of the Joker's card on the bottom of them.
Yeah, we got plans. We're gonna make them cool, and I'll start. We'll have more to give away. Shit, I'll just keep printing them and giving them away, and we'll get we'll get them in some juggalos' houses. So we'll have ways to do that here within the next few days.
Now, if you got a 3D printer out there, I'm sure anybody could do this, but not everybody's got a 3D printer, and not everybody's going to sit down and take the time to print these out. But these are really fucking cool, man.
That's why I didn't want to sell them either. Like, I could probably sell them for a few bucks. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
We'll sell T-shirts and shit for that. Like, I just want to give this away because I think it's cool. It's unique. Not a lot of people. This is literally one of a kind. I'm the only person that has this design. I made it.
Yeah.
So it's yours if you join the contest that I'll be having. Pay attention to the socials soon. Jugger Crow said, what about Spotify rating? You can rate us on there. The only reason I'm making a big deal about the Apple podcast is because if you rate on Apple, that's what brings you up the algorithm on all of it. Apple, for some reason, they have a lock on the whole podcast like rating system. It's all based on them. So rate it on everything and whatever. If there's a way you could comment on whatever, Stitcher or Spotify or whatever, if you could show me you left a good review, let me know. But iTunes is where it's at. That's where I need you. All right. But yeah, that's it. And also tell your friends. Let's get some subscribers and get some more eyes out here on us. All right.
Oh yeah.
Anything else, man?
That's it for today.
All right. Well, we will wrap it up. Let's go ahead and shuffle the fuck up on out of here.
We'll slide this one back in the deck.
Peace out till forever, guys. See ya.